Giving it to you straight with no filter. Danny B wins.
What's going on, my friends? And Andy, how are you today? The Karate Kid himself in person again?
I'm good,
round
man.
5
How are you?
I'm doing good, bud.
You're looking a little tired.
You know what? I had a rough day, and if you did what I did and went through what I did yesterday, you'd be tired too. If you have a second, Andy, I'll run you through my day.
Let's hear it.
My day. Somehow I always find drama. Drama finds me. But so yesterday, I know I'm excited. I wake up. I know I'm doing Joey Coco Diaz's podcast, The Church of What's Happening Now. And that's always fun. You know, I always enjoy talking to Coco.
Absolutely.
Before I did the show, I had gotten an email, and it was addressed from HBO's Sports, Real Sports, or HBO Sports. And it was requesting that I'd spend some time with them and do an interview about a referee. So I said, sure. You know, I gave him my numbers to contact me, blah, blah, blah. So I do the show with Coco. And now you got to remember, I'm on my way to Philadelphia to see the Philly Godfather. You know, we're trying to get some business going. Football's next week, and we'll talk about that. And I noticed that we had that little class before you picked up really good.
Yeah. We were checking out scores and all.
Right, we're going to run through that in a little bit. But anyway, so on the way to Philly, of course, there's always traffic going to Philly. But it wasn't so bad. I get there. As I'm pulling up, waiting for the Godfather, because he lives about 20 minutes away from where we usually meet. See, I might have some gas, so bear to fuck with me.
That's all right.
Here we go. So I'm getting the emails. Now, I'm horrible. I'm not a tech-savvy guy. Everybody knows that. But I'm trying to email shit back to who I think is HBO, and this is what they call catfished or clawfished or fucked with or pranked.
Pranked is good.
Yeah, whatever. I got it. This is interesting. So I'm going back and forth with HBO over various things. They want me to show them certain emails, and I'm asking them to call me, and they won't. But, you know, I'm kind of thinking something's not right. I looked up the guy's name. I'm not going to say anything. He's legitimate, you know. I'm corresponding with him, and we're going back and forth, and I can see that it's not getting nowhere. It's getting ugly. So, needless to say, that stops for a while, right? You know, and it wasn't good. I'm not going to get into the details, but again, I'm thinking I'm talking to some producer from HBO's Sports. And I did my 1997 thing with them on with Jim Lampley. Brian got 1990s, before you were born. So, but probably, right? Chop, chop. But, you know, anyway, so I meet with the Godfather. We do lunch, and I'm thinking, like, all right, what is this? Something good could happen out of this. You know, there's a compelling story here. I'm friends now with the guys in Philadelphia. You know, I know both ends of the story. So, you know, we do our thing. We have a nice lunch. I get back after a little traffic, and I start getting some more emails. And now I'm driving, and I'm getting aggravated. I missed my fucking
Exit.
And that's a fucking journey. Because now I gotta go. I'm fucking aggravated. I'm fucking steaming, you know. And so I finally get back to where I gotta get back home, and my wife's drunk because she's getting nasty emails. And she didn't want to tell me because she knows it would aggravate me.
Now, this would all be from the same guy.
Same individual, more than likely, you know. So now I'm going back and forth with this damn HBO guy who turns out not to be an HBO reporter. And we're going tit for tat. I got home about 4:45. I did not put that iPad down to 11:45, and I did not sleep. And towards the end of it, it got ugly because my brother was mentioned into it, asking me for my brother's fucking phone number. And my brother's in fucking jail, asshole. Yeah. And I don't know the county jail's number. And eventually it'd be Trenton, so go pay him a visit. Well, anyway, it turns out I go to bed. I can't sleep. I'm fucking 5 o'clock. And I don't sleep anyway. I'm one of those fucking guys. I drink coffee all day, get gas and shit.
Too much on the brain.
Yeah. So anyway, I wake up 6 o'clock. I check my emails, and it tells me, ha, ha, ha. You've been a victim of catfished or pranked. Just wanted to prove that you're a scumbag. Danny the dummy. All types of stupid shit letting me know that it was a prank. You know, I ain't a stupid guy.
Oh, hey now.
There's the Philly Godfather.
Philly Godfather.
I'm gonna finish. It was Philly. What's up, buddy? I'm in the middle of this story. Could you bear with me for a second? It's a good one. Are you there?
Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear it.
Yeah, so I was telling him about the HBO thing. You were with me yesterday when that shit was going on. I'm back and forth, and I'm thinking I'm talking to HBO Sports. You were there. You saw the emails and stuff like. But anyway, so finally I throw in the towel. I go to bed, and I wake up to this guy, this clown, who I know it is. I just can't prove it, but somebody will. telling me I've been pranked, you're a joke, Danny the dummy, all types of shit. I'm going to put you all over the internet, boo-hoo-hoo, ha-ha-ha, fuck you shit. So what does he think, I'm stupid? First thing I do is contact the real producer from HBO Sports, and I forward him all the emails.
Well, you know the guy, right?
I know. Yeah, well, you know what? This is crazy. I told you a little bit. I don't like to get you. You got a lot of shit going on, football coming up, and I don't want to drag you into my woes. Because even earlier in the week, I got attacked by that Steven Stevens. He was going to slap my kid and come to his apartment. But the funny fucking thing is my kid's 3 years old and the other one's 9. So you'd be a real tough guy to be. My 3-year-old probably kick his ass anyway. So we're going on and on. So here's the deal. The laugh is that HBO. I contacted them. I forwarded them. They're impersonating an HBO producer, trying to get me to send $1,200 that I allegedly owe somebody. So you know what? Who's got the last laugh? The emails are now in HBO's hand. They're going to investigate it. Contact the proper people, and excuse my Peter Brady voice there, and we'll see what happens. But as far as being pranked, you know what, fuck off. But anyway, Godfather, it was a nice day in Philadelphia. Lunch was nice. You're always a pleasure to be around. I know you got a lot of interesting shit to talk about. The PhillyGodfather.com. $10 memberships, butter. Football's here. What's going on there, pal?
Same old, man. We had a good time yesterday. I was hoping that Italian restaurant was open, but they were closed. So the other spot wasn't bad. I got that smoked salmon sandwich, and we had a good time pranking that one guy.
I forgot to. Hey, Andy, give me a little volume, please. Hit me up with a little volume. Need a little adrenaline rush there. Yeah, I'm fucking tired. But
I'm calling for myself.
That's all right. No, it's me. It's me. You know what? As soon as I'm done with this shit, I'm gonna go take me a power nap and come back like $1 million fucking dollars. But the bottom line is, yeah, we did prank that guy. I'll let you tell the story because you tweeted it out. PhillyGodfather.com, your Twitter handle they can find there. But tell them the story because I told you the guy was going to call. You were like, we should get. I said they're going to call today. I have a feeling, and sure enough, Hank calls us.
Yeah, they called in, and I just started talking with the guy. You know what I mean? I was messing with him, and he was kind of green, so he wasn't too good of a salesman. So they're the best guy to take advantage of it. And he just had a little fun, and we put it on YouTube, and we're just busting balls. You know what I mean? That's all.
Well, he was busting balls first, telling us to go get the lines on a football game that there was none on a Wednesday. What the fuck? Who's fucking?
I was acting stupid. I was acting like, there's no game tonight. And he's like, no, there's a baseball game, and we isolated a certain baseball game, and we're guaranteed to win. It's only $29, and give us a shot for football season, and this and that, and yeah, it was just a good time.
No, it was funny because to hear these guys go on, and you're new to the business, you got to remember. For a 2-year period down in Florida, I worked for guys that were over the top, so I know the drill. I've been doing this 20 years now. 17 of them, I've done it properly, but there was a time when I got involved with an over-the-top group. We got hit with the Wire Wager Act. That's old news. It's nothing special. But anyway, this was funny. I could tell he was green, and then we started telling him, listen. His wife, we started making up a story about his wife, the Puerto Rican wife.
My wife's ready to stab me. I'm ready to jump off a bridge. I lost all this money, all this bullshit we're telling him just to mess with him. And then he comes back with oh, it's a perfect time. I got the perfect game from you. You know what I mean? You're in a bad spot. You're in a bad situation. I'm here to help you out.
Thanks, Hank. That was funny. For $29, he's going to save your life. And he did call back a couple of times while we were there, but it wasn't worth recording because it was that embarrassing. And then he called me later on, and he was asking. I said, "Listen, man, I tell you, his wife."
He wanted a piece of that American Express black card. That's what he wanted.
He wanted that, especially when I started telling him how much money you're down. I said, "That guy's really down a lot more money than he told you." And then, over $29, and I said, just show him the game for free, but anyway, that was...
Wait. The game was selling for $500.
Yeah, on the internet.
He was going to hook us up for $29.
Yeah,
you know what's great about these guys? They got these $1 million plays, and they're selling them for $30 or $500. So it's, you know what? If I got $1 million play, I'm selling it for $1 million. You know what I mean?
They're doing you a favor.
That's what it's worth. You can't have $1 million play and sell for fucking $500. Come on, get real, man.
And they're doing it because they like you, and they think that the stories that they tell you why they're doing it. That's the fun part about it. Because Jim wants everybody to win. This guy, but anyway,
you know the guy, right? You know who he is, right? You know the guy that I'm working for. That was the funniest part right there. Yeah, I was like, he's got insider information, right? He's like, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, and then we played. That was nice. It's every time I'm up in Philly, we get one of those calls. It's like ironic. They must have GPS on my ass. I don't know. And I tell you, they're
it's
going
great content, man. It's great content. It's a lot of fun. You tweet it out. People love it. People die laughing. They kept tweeting me back, telling me this is awesome. I can't wait for part 3 because that's the second time we did it. So we had the part 1, part 2, and next time hopefully it's even funnier.
Well, it's going to be because now football's here, and you're going to get now. You know what? They get the young guys or the new. He was an older gentleman. Probably sold something once in a while one time in his life, but you can tell he didn't know what he was doing. You know, the seasoned guys. There's some real seasoned guys out there. You know, like that.
Yeah, well, everything he said was scripted. You could tell. Like,
and somebody was
off
phone
the
feeding him.
board, you know?
Somebody was over his shoulder, telling him what to say. No, fucking. There's no football today, asshole. It's fucking tomorrow. You jerk off. You just fucked up a sale, you cocksucker. So. No, I know, because that's the way they are. They phone feed you. They teach you like you're a fucking animal. But you know what? There's a lot of good companies out there, too. Not everybody's a dog. You know, there's a lot of this and that on the internet, a lot of misconceptions.
Well, I mean, those boiler rooms are dangerous. You know that, man. Anyone who's cold cocking people, calling people, that's a tough situation. Listen, if you're good at what you do, people come to you. People find you. You don't got to go out there and find them and call them up. Like, you know what I'm saying, man? So, you know, if you're good at what you do, they're going to find you, man. You're going to start your website. You're going to give out your moves, and people are going to realize this guy's the real deal. This guy knows what he's talking about. And, you know, and that's how they find you, man. You know, I mean, you guys don't reach out to anybody.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. You know, I do my radio for 20 years now, and I'm the type of guy you call. If you like what you hear, fine. I don't follow up on you unless you ask me to. So we're not like that. You know, listen, there's the proper way to do this, and there's the fucking boiler room way. And Boiler Room has 15, 16 different people. I'm a very small operation, mom and pop style, and I just deal with good people. You know, so let's talk about a positive thing. And speaking of good people, you know, you guys are off to a nice start in the preseason. Tonight there's only a couple of games on the board. I was trying to teach Andy a little bit about the movements and how they work, blah, blah, blah. So he's kind of catching on. It's amazing.
Well, listen, in preseason, if you see a line move a couple points, I mean, there's cash behind it. You know what I mean? So preseason is, if you're a little bit more observant and you know what time of the day that certain wise guys bet games, that's the time of the day you want to look at what time those lines move instead of, you know, other times of the day. And you got a little bit of a perspective of how the market works. You can actually get a little bit of an edge in preseason football because the limits are a lot lower. And if these guys are betting a certain game, the line's definitely going to move.
You know what? It was funny. I'm blind and I don't want to be embarrassed in putting glasses on, so I won't. So I just blew up the screen. Boom! Just like that. We got like an example then, because I'm trying to teach Andy, and he's the Karate Kid over here. So he does. What type of move did you put me in? A fucking Laura move? What the fuck was that?
Showed you a Kimura today.
A Kimura to you too.
Oh,
sir.
you showed the Kimura?
Yeah. We were showing Danny a Kimura in case anybody comes
I knew
knocking.
it. I just didn't know it as the Laura. I thought it as fucking get the guy, grip him up, and break his fucking arm. That's
how long you been doing the UFC stuff?
I've been doing jiu-jitsu for about coming up on my 4th month.
He's just starting, but he loves it. He said,
you just started.
Yeah,
you know how to do stuff already. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it's
Where
been great.
Training at?
I'm training out of 10th Planet Allentown. And my instructors are actually opening up a building out in Bethlehem. Yeah, it's going to be called Finishers Jiu-Jitsu. It's a 10th Planet school. We're also going to have kickboxing, yoga, great for guys and girls. But I've only been in it for about 4 months, and I'm learning a shit ton of moves, and then also, you know, proper technique, because it's not all about strength. You don't have to be the strongest guy in the building,
or the biggest.
Yeah, or the biggest, but you know, that technicality will really take you through. So I've been it's been great.
chopping
I
him
gotta
up.
hook you up. I got a good friend in Costa Rica. His name is Joey Odessa.
Joey Odessa.
He's real sharp. I got to hook you up with him. Maybe give you a little insight about that.
Oh fuck yeah! I'd
Yeah,
love that.
Joey's an
all about that.
Yeah, he's an odds maker, and he knows this shit. I think does he do something with the Joe Rogan thing too? Is he involved with Joe Rogan?
Yeah, he's all over the place, man. He's on Twitter. He's a great follower. You got to check him out.
Oh, definitely.
The guy really knows what he's talking about. The guy's he's real sharp. He's from the East Coast. I was on the phone with him yesterday for a couple of hours. We were talking about all kinds of stuff, from boxing to life to politics to finances. I mean, the guy's just sharp, you know, as sharp as they come. And he's a good guy to know, man.
That's great, man.
You know, he is sharp, and he's been in the business a long time. And you seem to know everybody. I guess that's part of the business. And I've said it for years. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And let's talk a little. Let me give you a little example tonight. You had mentioned movements. Let's talk New England and Detroit. I was telling Andy the bottom team's always home unless it's a neutral field. I'm trying to just so this way
acclimate me.
See, Ford Field. Detroit opened up at I'm on Scores and Odds. Different sites vary, but this is a pretty reliable site. Detroit Lions -1.5. You see the movement, and now with the current is 2.5. So it went, Andy, from 1.5 to 2 to 2.5. So, Godfather, give me a little perception of why that happens. Is it a proper move? You say yes in the preseason.
Yeah, well, I mean, if the game goes from a pick to 2.5, then it goes to 3, and if you see it go to even 3.5, then it's a real strong move, because anything that moves past that key number 3, man, there's serious money behind it. So, yeah, Detroit's a little bit of a move. Not every move is created equal. Not every move is as strong as a different move. But, yeah, it's a good little move there. They're looking for Detroit to come, they're at home, win the game, showcase a little bit of their talent. Mm-hmm. And after New England comes off the field after the first quarter or maybe into the second half, they're really going to take it easy after that, so they can avoid any kind of injuries, because the season is about to start. So look for Detroit probably to win that game and cover the spread.
You know what? A lot of people, I get a lot of... I tweet it out if you're trying to book. A lot of guys are inspiring to be hand, and there's some good guys on Twitter and on the internet. So I give everybody the chance. I'm not co-sign and bet everybody's game, but seems like a lot of the guys out there like Detroit tonight. So it's a preseason. Have a little fun with it. Next Thursday, the games begin. Saturday, the following. It's here, man. And
well, this is my advice to everyone. This is what I do in preseason. I try and put a value on each and every player. And then we add up those numbers, and we get a value on their offensive line, on their defensive line, on their special teams, on the quarterback, and we get an overall outlook on how strong certain teams are pertaining to what the values within those numbers that we assign each player and each team and each side of the ball. So if you want to do something like that, that's a good little project for you to do. If you're, new at handicapping, you're trying to assess which teams are better, which teams aren't. And then that'll help you gauge, in single game action situations like the first game of the year. If you're trying to quantify what's going to happen in that game, then that may be able to help you a little bit.
Wow, quantify, rectify.
Wait, I got to go back to talking about getting money, man. I don't feel like
what?
I'm not trying to sound smart. No, I just hang out with smart people.
No, but honestly, you are an intelligent guy. I showed up yesterday. You're in flip flops and your gym clothes. Just a down to earth guy. Good people. And that's what I was telling the HBO guy. That the guys in Philadelphia are good people, man. And
you got to keep it simple, Danny. Man, listen. You talk to all these people trying to sound smart on the internet or whatever, you see them in the street and they're talking, and then you'll talk to a farmer who's the simplest guy in the world, and he'll tell you how everything works on this planet, from the grass to the seeds to the flowers to the trees to the animals on the farm, and he'll tell you how this earth really works in the simplest, most easiest way to understand, because the guy knows what he's talking about. You know what I mean? And sometimes some of the most simplest people on this planet are some of the smartest.
I agree. You don't have to have a suit and tie to impress anybody. Just good choice words.
Just be yourself, man. Just be yourself. Keep it real, man. That's what we talk all the time. That's a great name for a show, and that's what we're doing here. We're just keeping it real.
That's my whole objective, and I hope everybody perceives it that way. I ain't here to sugarcoat anything. This is fucking gambling. Shit happens. We go on streaks, good and bad. Some sports, like you had mentioned last week, you might excel this season in the NFL and have a bad NCAA season. A good
It's always going to change from year to year. You can't stay consistent at that level, man. I mean, if one year you're hitting 62% of your games, man, the chances of you hitting 62 again the following year aren't that great. It's just, when you're overachieving, when you're past a certain limit, the greatest handicappers in the world win 55, 56. At the most 57% of their games each year. And if you have a great year, we'll expect the following year to regress a little bit.
You know what? That's, people like, well, why would I pay anybody that hits 58%? I can do 65% on my own. No, you can't. Not consistently, because it's a proven fact. And what you just said makes all the sense in the world. I was like on top of the world. And the second half of baseball has been horrible, but I'm 3-1 my last 4, but it was balanced. I'm not going to maintain 76% throughout the season. People started thinking that I was going to walk on water, and I kept saying, no, just get ready to put that life preserver on, buddy. The ship's going to sink. You know what?
You got a lot of situations where you get the better side of the situation. Bottom of the ninth, you need a couple runs, you get them. So you get a little lucky in certain games, and that'll increase your winning percentage. But then that's all gonna catch up to you later when you catch the ass end of that, and then it's gonna go both ways. So the best in the world won 57%. Anything over that is unreal, and don't expect to be anything over that all the time.
Yeah, you know what too, especially when you're playing every day. Now let me give you throw your insights on this. If you picked your one game a week, just one game a week, 4 games a month, then it's possible to maintain 75%, or no? Let me tell you something. What's your advice there?
Let me tell you something. If you put it this way, say you could isolate, like that guy said yesterday when he called us, one game a week,
right?
And you love the game,
right?
And you bet $1,000 on it, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you could hit 11 games like that in a row, you can make $1 million. So what you do is the first game you bet 1,000. Second game you double up 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, right. 64, 128, 256, 512. Bang, $1 million.
There you go.
You know how
just
hard
like
that is? It sounds easy. Just hit 11 games over the course of 1 year. Pick one game a month that you love.
That's fun.
It's almost impossible.
You know what?
It sounds easy, but it's not. You don't realize what the probabilities of doing that really are. You know what I mean?
I have people tell me that they hit 75%. That when I'm honest, they're like, I tell them what I'm doing or how I do it and where we're at. They're like, well, I'm doing better than Adam. So, well, how much you betting on the games? I'm betting $50. Well, you ain't that fucking confident if you're hitting 75% and you're still betting $50 a fucking game. So,
the sharpest people in the world bet big amounts of money. They back up their opinion. It's not just, I like this game. No, they're backing their opinion with cold, hard cash, man.
Right.
They're putting their money on the line because they believe in the work that they've done, in the homework, in the research, in everything about what they do on that game, or, they're betting, in that season. They're putting their money behind their opinion, and that's who I want to know. That's who I want to know what games are on. That's who I want to learn from, and they're the best in the world.
And you said learn from, and you've been at this your whole life, and you're still learning, and so am I. And
absolutely, man. You got to keep an open mind. You know what I mean?
And I agree, and I'm always open. That's why I talk to just about anybody. I mean, yesterday I thought I was talking to an HBO producer who turned out to be one of the. I thought it was, At the end of the day, though, it's like, who's a jerk off, though? I mean, somebody's got that much time to waste on something like that.
Yeah, you just got to stay away from people like that. Listen, you don't want no bad karma around you. You don't want no liabilities in your life. Anyone who isn't an asset, if he's trying to bring you down, you just cut him off, get rid of him, don't talk to him, and then you just got smooth sailing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree 100%, but when you start bringing family involved and you start going, it was fucking tasteless. But needless to say, you know what, it's football's here. Most people are waiting for the end. And let me ask you your thoughts on this Thursday night NFL stuff. Are you a fan of that, or what? What's your thoughts?
Absolutely. If I could have NFL every night, I'd have NFL every night.
Thank you.
It's the best league in the world. They get it. They give their fans what they want. They're pushing that fantasy football now. You see Colin Kaepernick on there picking himself on TV for his fantasy football team. I mean, they really get it. They really understand what the public wants. They give it to them, and they keep giving it to them, and I can't get enough of it, man.
Well, that's what this is all foreplay now. The preseason's like foreplay. But now you're a week away from college. Some people are bypass college. Some people play both. Some people wait for the week 1 of the NFL before they engage. But there are some good games in week 1 in college. Have you looked at any regular season NCAA off the bat or something?
Yeah, we looked at a couple games. I'd rather not give them out right now.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Fair enough.
We might still be looking to put some more money down on them.
Protect
your
interest.
I'd rather just keep that close to the tuck right now.
But is there okay? Let me ask you this: is there an advantage earlier in the year for guys like yourself, or is it year by year?
Listen, wherever we find an edge, we try to exploit it. So whether it's early, late, depending on what our information is. And some guys, they'll tell you to find an edge earlier than later. But to us, it doesn't matter what time of the year it is. If we find an edge, we're going to exploit it, and we're going to get down, and we're going to move that line, and we're going to make some money.
And I guess that's what it comes down to. You got to be patient, like with a sniper. You got to sit in that stand there sometimes for days at a time. And then eventually something comes in your crosshairs and boom, you hit on it, So it is a marathon too, this stuff here. And that's one of the things I say. And people call me for all types of advice, and everybody's different. What's good for you is not good for the neighbor. Bet what you're comfortable. Allocate what you can afford to lose. That's a good advice. Would you say? Allocate what you can afford.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You can't. If something's driving you crazy and giving you stress, well, you don't want that in your life. You want to enjoy yourself. You want to have a good time. And you want to make a couple bucks. Now, you're not. Most people ain't looking to do this professionally. They got jobs. They got 9 to 5. They don't have the time to put in. They don't have the assets. They don't have the network. So for them, it's a recreational thing. They're looking to have some fun, make some money, and all they really want to do is feel like a wise guy once in a while because they know they're never going to be a real wise guy. You know what I mean?
Just a little love. I grew up on the streets, and I know your story on the streets. Your father knew a lot of business owners at a young age. You grew up there on Callow Hill. I always pronounce that. Is that the way they spell that? Callow Hill?
Yeah, Callow Hill Street.
Callow Hill Street. Yeah, I grew up on the streets in New Jersey. This has been part of our blood. And you know what? The wise guys back, things were so much easier back then, Andy. You don't know nothing about it, but it was so much more easier. These guys, you guys could infiltrate a lot more back then, easier. The times have changed. But I do see some positive change down the road. These offshore/online, 90% of them you got to worry about. So what do you really think?
Yeah, that's the problem with this industry is you don't know who to trust and not to trust. Thank God I've been in it so long. I've established my network, the people, my associates. They're all good people, man. And for lots of guys that get into it, you want to put some money in an account. You're worried about them, closing up. It's a problem. That's why the government really needs to regulate this stuff, make it legal, give all the states opportunity for people to bet these games because it's a big business. And like Brian Toohey, he had interviewed me for that book, Larceny Games, and he asked me my opinion about what they should do. And I told him, I said, listen, man, South America took in $124 billion in bets last year. I said, Hollywood only took in $24 billion in business. Like, imagine what the U.S. would do if they legalized sports gambling. It'd be off the roof. I mean, they would tax it. It would be, you feel comfortable going online and betting and knowing that your money's guaranteed by the Federal Reserve or whatever they want to call it, whatever. You know your money's safe. You feel better about it, and you're going to be a lot happier when you're doing it.
Especially when you get a call from Hank telling you for $29 he's got the fucking game of the year. You go right down there, you put your little slippers on, you get all pumped up, get your little $110, go to the cage, buy a pack of smokes, boom, come back and then watch yourself get blown out. Been there, done that. But yeah, I've been saying that on my radio show. I do the podcast, but in a couple of weeks we start radio. LA is my biggest market out there. You know what? This is
maybe we can get some movie roles this year.
I'm hoping.
Maybe I can play a gambler in a movie. I can play myself. I don't have to, too much of a stretch.
Well, yeah. Speaking of that, you know what? You've had some opportunities. They wrote about you in a few different books. They put your name next to Billy Walters in one of the. I saw it on Twitter. I haven't read.
I don't do that. Listen, man, I'm pretty good at what I do, but that guy's the greatest of all time. Just to be in the same sentence with Billy is an honor. I said before on Twitter, I just wish I was in the same tax bracket as that man.
Well, you know what? I mean? The guy's got what has he got? Like 9 golf courses or something like that.
He's a billionaire, man. The guy's just beyond. It's beyond rich. It's beyond wealthy. The guy's just chilling. You know what I mean?
You know what? And he came clean on 60 Minutes 4 or 5 years ago, and he shocked a lot of people. I was like, what is Billy doing? I mean, I've never met Billy. I'm gonna pretend that I know the guy. I'm just not gonna go there, but. I've heard about him since the day I got into business, and I grew up the Computer Group, the Wong Brothers. I've heard these names. I think we all have.
The Kid, Stevie Z, all those guys.
Yeah, exactly. We had a guy out of Jersey called Big Sid Aronowitz. He was hooked up with old Meyer Lansky back in the day, and they were some sharp fucking. I don't want to throw any slang out there, but they were some sharp businessmen out there. And this was the late 70s. I just, I was always attracted to this shit. I'm with you, man. Make it legal. Tax the shit out of it. You have fucking Social Security. We're running out of fucking money. How about a little fucking help here?
They gotta do something, man. Our bridges are falling apart. Our roads are horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people suffering. The economy ain't getting any better. And, they got to find a way to generate more cash flow.
Well, my biggest argument here is the fact, we don't want this to be an epidemic and people lose and it's bad for this, it's bad for the reputation. Fuck the reputation, you hypocrite fucks. Here's the deal.
Listen, man, you go to any bar, any corner bar in Philadelphia, there's a bookmaker in there.
Yeah.
Any corner bar, so you go walk in there,
steaks.
you ask the bartender, I want to get down on the Eagles game. Talk to fucking Vinny
He's in the bathroom taking a piss and having
Whatever.
a blast.
You know what I mean? Like they're everywhere.
I said,
why shouldn't the government take it? Go. You know what? And take that away from them, and then that'll help. Our economy and help. People that need it. Right?
I always remember meeting Mr. Holloway at the Embassy Suites in Secaucus out there by the Meadowlands. I'd meet him every Thursday night. Usually, I had the envelope giving it to him though, but. You settled up. Everything was so clean, and the guys would stand up. So there's nothing better than knowing that your money's secure, because there's nothing worse than winning $5,000 and not getting paid on it. That's worse than fucking losing. Winning and not getting paid.
Or the guy's slow pays, or you don't.
Yeah, they pay you weekly with an A in it. Yeah, weekly.
It's your good money against their bad money, and that's always a bad situation.
Well, right now, the casinos, if there's ever a time that they got good bank, it's now, because they start loading up. All the gamblers are scrambling. And so the bank depletes itself right after the Super Bowl or after March.
Let me tell you something. There's a rumor going around right now that they're going to be going after some offshore accounts. So, offshore books. So just be careful out there right now, And I wouldn't put too much stock or too much money in any of these offshore casinos right now. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'd be a little weary.
You know what? Here's the deal. I think it's the calm before the storm. If they start seizing assets, they can use it for their own proceeds here and, for their own needs here. And I said that for years. When they started going after Neteller back in 07 or 06, whenever that was, and they seized $40 million, I believe they gave a lot of that back. But I believe they're coming after guys, rightfully so, wrong. I don't know. It's all about money. Confiscate.
That's all they want, man. Let's be honest. It's all about the money. That's all it is.
Money. It's all about the money. No, it's that's all it's ever been about. Back in 2004 when they seized $14 million from us, they charged us with the Wire Wager Act. It was a bullshit Bobby Kennedy law from 1962 that didn't even fucking apply to what we were doing. But they weren't going to let somebody make that much money down in mom and pop Fort Myers, Florida. It just wasn't in the cards. We're driving around with Lamborghinis, Porsches, fucking everything. We guys are spending $100,000 on any given day buying Rolexes. But that was back in the day. But they just need to get smart. Get smart now. I'm smart, Mikey.
Do you guys think there will ever be a point where it is?
There you go, Andy's here.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
Are you goofing on Elvis?
Do you guys think there will ever be a point where it is, legalized and just, tax and everything? Because it seems like you guys are, the way you're mentioning it could be like 10 years out or something like that.
I don't think that far. Godfather? You want to address
It's coming, man. It's on its way, Andy. You know what I mean? So you know.
Yeah, Andy, if you ain't up to speed on it, New Jersey, Delaware was close to having multi-sports. They do have parlay cards in Delaware. But it's just a matter of time. New Jersey's gun-ho. Governor Christie's sticking his chest out, rightfully so. He's made some good
Delaware's getting parlay cards. Now they're doing totals on the parlays. So, they're slowly integrating more and more options for the sports bettor. When you go to Delaware State Park or if you want to bet in Delaware. So it's definitely on the way, man. I see it coming, and I see the whole market changing within the next 5 years.
Yeah, slowly, little steps at a time. Back in the 60s, you had a handful of Cubans coming in. Now they're all over the place. I guess you used that as an example, right? So they're coming. I don't know if I wanted to use that.
Oh, shit. I think
Did we lose them?
I think we just
Did we lose the Godfather?
Yeah, I heard a little mix-up. Godfather, are you there?
Yeah, I think we do. He'll call back.
Yeah, he'll call back.
But anyway, Andy,
let me ask you a question. So once everything goes legal,
mm-hmm.
right? How do you think that will impact your business? Like, what's going to be the plan from there? Will you be able to take bets yourself?
No. You have to be. Okay. You would have to. Again, I'm no attorney. You would have to be a registered. It's probably the state controls it. I don't know how it'll go down. I think they talked about Mammoth Park first in New Jersey.
Okay.
Of course, the casinos, the racetracks, the Meadowlands, places like that. So, I don't know how it's going to go, when it's going to go. I'm pretty sure it will go, Andy.
Uh-huh.
And speaking of going, we're going to wind things down here.
Sure.
It's past my bedtime.
Yeah.
I've had a pretty...
rough couple days.
Pretty rough days. And so anyway,
man,
that's pretty much it for today, guys. And football's here. We're here for you. Visit the Philly Godfather at phillygodfather.com.
And it's at Philly Godfather on Twitter.
That's correct. And you know how to get in touch with me. And I will talk to you Monday. Wait. We got Joey Coco Diaz.
Oh, shit.
The funny man himself calling in on Monday. So be prepared, and we're going to go on a regular schedule, Fridays and Mondays eventually, but we're floating around, working around holiday schedules, blah, 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 blah. So, guys, we'll talk to you Monday with Funny Man Joey Coco Diaz and the Philly Godfather. Until then, make it a great weekend.